The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Week 1 of Jets training camp is officially in the books. The Jets are off today, so let's recap what we learned from the first week of Jets camp. My guest is Brandyn Pokrass from Jets X Factor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
They won a training camp, man. Looking forward to a great season.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. It is time to talk all things Jets as we break down week 1 of Jets camp. The Jets are off today. The pads come on tomorrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting closer and closer to the start of the New York Jets season. Reminder, as you can see, I'm rocking some Jake Asman Show merch right now. You can as well. The merch store is open. Go to jakeasman.com. Get yourself some merch. We restocked all the popular items. So everything that you want is in there. jakeasman.com/shop. If you're on Patreon, you get a 15% discount on everything. So if you plan on buying merch, you'll get your Patreon membership for free because you're going to save more than $5. And that is the cost to join Patreon for the month. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Big shout out to Michael, Ray Winter, Bilal Hader for being our 3 most recent Patreon subscribers. That being said, it's time to talk all things New York Jets. And joining us right now is someone who has been at both the practices that have been open to the fans. He covers the team for JetsXFactor.com. Brandyn Pokrass joins us now. Brandyn, always good to get you on this show, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
Happy to be back. Happy to talk some New York Jets football.
So let's break it down, Brandyn. Your biggest takeaway through the first week of Jets camp is?
The offense looks really damn good. The offense is clicking. It is really nice to see at all the different levels of the offense, right? So you obviously have Aaron Rodgers. He looks as close to 100% as one could look coming off an Achilles injury, right? He's moving around the pocket. He's delivering passes down the field. You know, he'll have the occasional miss here or there, but he's looking really good. You know, Garrett Wilson looks ready to take another leap. I mean, dude's been borderline uncoverable outside of a few great plays from Sauce Gardner. You know, there's been some other contributors, Malik Taylor, Alan Lazard, and then you have other guys getting in the mix like Malachi Corley yesterday. And then I think the biggest thing outside of Rodgers, outside of the wide receivers, the offensive line, you can tell there's a difference. You know, just by adding Tyron Smith and seeing the unit mesh together that much more already, it's a different offense. And it's exciting to see that they're already at this point on July 27th before the pad, or July 28th now, but yesterday, July 27th, before the pads are even on now. I think it's a great start, and that's probably my biggest takeaway so far.
I think it's a great one to focus in on. And we'll talk more about Rodgers here as we move along. But the offensive line point you made, I think is a great one because I keep reminding people this on this show, my radio show that I've done. When you look at the Jets a year ago, the biggest difference is at this time last year, we didn't know who the 5 starters were on offense up front. We didn't. We had an idea who some of them would be. We were hoping Dwayne Brown would be ready for the start of the season, but he wasn't practicing at this point last year. Mekhi Becton wasn't getting a chance to play left tackle at this point last year. He was thought maybe he's the right tackle. Maybe they give him a chance at left tackle later on in the summer. We didn't know. There was an unknown on who the center was. We thought it was probably going to be McGovern, but then Tippmann was still there. Here we are, fast forward a year later, Brandon. The 5 guys that are going to start week 1 for the Jets, they've been in place since mid-March, and obviously that doesn't include Olu Fashanu, who's got an opportunity to learn from Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. And as we saw yesterday, for example, at the end of practice, Tyron Smith's on a rep limit, so they put Olu out there with the ones. The day before that, Olu got a chance because it was a veteran rest day for Tyron. He didn't practice at all. Olu got to be the starting left tackle for an entire practice. So you're seeing this O-line have a chance to actually develop some chemistry and cohesion ahead of the season, and that was the total opposite of last year.
Yeah, and it's going to make that much more of a difference, right? Because offensive line, you have to know the guy next to you. You have to understand how to deal with stunts and different things that the defensive line can throw at you and defensive coordinators can throw at you. And, the big thing that people always say, and I'm someone that believes in this, you don't really have a true sense of anything until the pads come on. But at the same time, the defensive line is usually at an advantage when it's no pads because the offensive lineman can't get that same, basically first step and the first contact without pads on. So the fact that a guy like Tyron Smith and the Joe Tippmann and the rest of this Jets offensive line is holding up the way they are already, that's a really good sign. And the fact that you have Smith entrenched, but Olu is he basically has the ability to develop at his own pace now. That's something that no Jets offensive player, let alone an offensive lineman, has been afforded in these past few years. The fact that, like you said, all these guys are set in their positions, you're allowing them to grow and to develop over the course of a camp without basically the back of their mind being, I could be switched to the complete opposite side and have to make all these adjustments. Now it's just, how can I be the best player at this position? And I think you're starting to see that pay off. And when you have an offensive line that's meshing well together in front of a quarterback that's known for an insanely quick release, that's a great combination. That's how you beat defenses.
No question about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Brandyn Pokrass. If you're just tuning in, covers the Jets for JetsXFactor.com. He's been at all the practices, of course. So if you have a question for Brandyn, make sure you write it in. Super Chats is the best way to make sure your question or your comment gets addressed on the show. Before we even began our program this morning, a 5-spot was gifted, baby. It's raining membership.
Money, 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 money.
Ladies and gentlemen, M. King has decided he wants to make it rain. Paul Klein, you're a member. Brandon Ace, Rob DeMob, you're a member. Rowan Marshall, you're a member. Le Greatness, we need LeBron to play well for Team USA today. You're a member, courtesy of M. King. So thank you, M. King, for getting it started. I could smell memberships being gifted today. So if you haven't turned on gifted memberships, you might be missing out on a chance of free greatness. That's all I'm going to say. All right, some other things I want to get into. We mentioned Rodgers. Let's go more in depth on him right now because yesterday I was out at camp, and it was the first time that I've gotten a chance to see Aaron Rodgers play for the Jets since I was at the opener last year and saw 4 plays before everyone knows what happened. Just seeing competency at the quarterback play, that to me was awesome. I thought the play he made early on in camp yesterday, first play of teams, where he bought a little time in the pocket and was able to find Allen Lazard and on the run floated a pinpoint pass to Lazard right along the sideline. And Lazard did a nice job dragging his feet and catching it in bounds. I thought that was vintage Rodgers. Everything we've heard from people at these practices, including yourself, is that he looks like Aaron Rodgers. Break down the big takeaways from Aaron Rodgers' first week with the Jets at training camp here.
I think the big thing with Rodgers is you're getting to see what that upper level quarterback play is. Upper level quarterback play isn't always necessarily, I'm going to hit the big throw and I'm going to make all these big plays. And he's done that. I mean, the throw to Garrett Wilson hits DJ Reed with the double move, ends in a touchdown. That's the type of play where a younger quarterback, as we have seen with a Sam Darnold, a Zach Wilson, doesn't always see that right off the bat. Rodgers noticed it immediately, boom, ends in a big play. But it goes way beyond that. Rodgers is in command at the offensive line. He's seeing everything. He's making the adjustments at the line. He's basically getting the Jets offense in the best position to execute every single time. And that's also a byproduct of this is the second year in the system for all these players. Everyone's more comfortable. Everyone understands what Rodgers is trying to do. And it's not perfect. There's going to be bumps in the road, but they're that much more ahead of the game. And I think the biggest thing for me is that he takes what the defense gives him. Anyone who was at practice yesterday would say that the secondary was very, very good. Lots of lockdown coverage, lots of deep routes downfield taken away. So what does a talented quarterback like Aaron Rodgers do? He checks it down. He finds his safety valves. He takes what the defense gives him. He's not trying to force it down the field. He's not trying to make a play when the play isn't there. And I think that's something that Jets fans haven't been able to see. This is a guy that is very infrequently going to make mistakes. They'll come. Every quarterback doesn't see something a defense does or a defender makes an awesome play. But the majority of the time, he's on schedule. He's making every throw he needs to, and he's making the smart decisions. And that is the aspect of quarterback play. That's the aspect of Aaron Rodgers that is going to help this Jets team, because you look at Zach Wilson or previous quarterbacks, sometimes they didn't have that knowledge, that experience to make those types of plays, where now you have a guy that is going to understand what he can and can't get away with.
Completely agree. Just the amount of things he does at the line, it's obvious when you watch it, getting guys on the same page, seeing Garrett Wilson and Joe Tippmann be absolute sponges in person yesterday around Rodgers. His presence, him just being out there, makes everyone better. And you see it firsthand when you're actually watching these practices up close. And he's healthy, right? I mean, we could sum up his first week of training camp with the Jets. He's healthy. He's moving around. You would have no idea this guy suffered a major injury a year ago.
Yeah, and it's impressive. Like the throw on the run. That's not a throw of someone that isn't healthy is making. Getting outside the pocket and finding Lazard down the field, but putting in a spot where Lazard can catch it in stride, get his feet down, and it's a great play. Not every quarterback is doing that. And I think it's awesome for Jets fans and the Jets as a whole that this is what it looks like on July 28th. What does it look like in 2-3 weeks? What does it look like when they have even more reps underneath them? I think that's exciting for fans to think about, because that's not something that you've had in past years. You've been wondering, can this guy even function at the NFL level for a lot of Jets quarterbacks? Now you're looking at it and it's how good can the Jets quarterback be? It's a very different discussion.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Only 63 likes. We have 169 people that are watching live right now. So the math is not mathing. You have to hit the like button if you want this show to be magical. Speaking of magical, Brandyn, is it really the summer of Allen Lazard? I saw it yesterday. Made a couple nice plays. Other practices, he's been involved. Your thoughts on Lazard? Are we seeing an Allen Lazard resurgence with Rodgers back at quarterback?
So this is where I'm going to fall with Lazard. I think he's going to play a good situational role for the Jets this season. And I think that's the best way to get the most out of him. This is a guy that, if you look back at his career in Green Bay, he was at his best when he was situational, when he was a part-time wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. The minute he gets bumped up to wide receiver 2 in Green Bay, his efficiency drops and he isn't as productive. And you saw that last year with Zach Wilson, but I think a lot of that can be contributed to the fact that he quit on the team. He didn't put as much effort in. And you're seeing the opposite of that now. Like Thursday, he beat Michael Carter on a rep in the red zone. That's something that Allen Lazard of last year in the regular season just simply isn't doing. So I think that the fact that Rodgers trusts him, the fact that he is making plays early on in camp, and yeah, he's had a few drops, but he's had touchdowns every single practice. I think if the Jets can rely on him as a third down option, a red zone option that is playing, let's say 10 to 15 snaps, 10 to 15 important snaps a game, that's an important asset. That's something where it's like, hey, if we have a guy that is consistently making plays when we need him the most, that can win you a game. That can win you 2 games. So I don't think Lazard is going to have this resurgent, 1,000-yard season with 6 touchdowns and steps in the wide receiver 2 role. But I think if he gets you 3-4 red zone touchdowns, has maybe 500 yards, something around those numbers, the Jets will take that. That's more than you would expect out of a guy that looked like he was on his last legs last year.
100%. Look, I'm not going to go crazy yet, but can Allen Lazard be a number 3 or 4 receiver with Rodgers? He could. Mike Williams has to get healthy, though, right? Because you do look at this team right now, especially with Gibson out yesterday. You have Garrett Wilson, and then, I don't know. Like, if you get Mike Williams back, which Rodgers said earlier in the week, he revealed he's ahead of schedule, which was good to hear. You feel a lot better about this wide receiver room.
And that's what a lot of the discussion around Davante Adams and a lot of the discussion in the offseason was, where it's like, okay, you got Mike Williams, but something happens to Garrett Wilson, which obviously if something happens to Garrett Wilson, you're in trouble anyway. But if something happens to him, what does your wide receiver core look like? Who is stepping up? Who is your wide receiver 1 and who's sliding into that wide receiver 2 role? Because Mike Williams has his own injury history. So then if Wilson goes down, it's Williams and Lazard, Williams and Gibson, Williams and Brownlee. And obviously you want to hope that these guys, whether it's those 2, Malik Taylor, Malachi Corley, Brownlee, and even a guy like Tyler Harrell, Lance McCutcheon, like there's depth guys on this team. It's just a matter of, do you trust them if something happens to the bigger players on the roster? And that's where I think a lot of, like I said, the Davante discussion, the Cortland Sutton discussion, the we need to trade up and draft Rome Odunze discussion came from. It's this unit just simply isn't deep enough. And is it deep enough now? We're not going to know until we see joint practices, until we see preseason games, until we see where that room actually is heading towards the season. And I think that's the way the Jets are going to handle it too. If they're comfortable with Gibson and Lazard and Corley's making progress, you probably don't need to make another move. But if you are getting next to nothing from wide receivers, let's call it 3 to 6 on the depth chart, that's where you might see the rumors flare up again that, hey, the Jets are making a push for Davante Adams. Hey, the Jets are looking into Cortland Sutton and other wide receivers that might be on the market. Because this is an all-in season. They made the Hassan Reddick move for that exact reason. They want a guy that is at the peak of his powers that can help them win as many games as possible now. Wide receiver should be no different if that position group just doesn't shake out the way the Jets need it.
The bottom line for me with the wide receiver room is, Rodgers will make guys better. But if there's an opportunity to maybe add someone to take you over the top, I think they're going to do it regardless how the rest of the room is shaking out. And if it's Davante, I find it very hard to believe the Jets would be in a spot where they couldn't use Davante Adams, right? So we'll see. But, they have had some guys make some plays this first week, so that's been positive to see. Now, here's what I want to do, Brandon. I want you to highlight some guys that aren't, the obvious names we've covered. We talked about Rodgers and Garrett Wilson and their chemistry. We talked about Allen Lazard. That's notable because of his contract and what happened last year. But give us some other guys that you think have played well, that have stood out during their first week of camp. The first name I want to bring up, and then you could respond and give your own, is I was impressed with what I saw from Tariq Cohen yesterday. He looks fast. He looks shifty. You heard Salah say afterwards he's got his explosiveness back. If he's healthy, right, and he hasn't been in about 4 years, this is a guy that's been an all-pro special teams player. We know about the new kickoff return rules impacting every team this season. I think Tariq Cohen is making the Jets if he's healthy, and so far so good. So let's start with him, and then we'll break down some other players like that.
I don't know if this is a hot take, but I think Tariq Cohen's been my favorite player that I've watched during the Jets OTAs and training camp. I mean, like you said, in his prime, when he wasn't injured, he was one of the most shifty and explosive players pound for pound in the league. And the fact that it looks like he got that back. I mean, Thursday, there was a run to the outside where the play looked like it was dead. He plants his feet in the ground. All of a sudden, he's picking up chunks of yardage going the other direction. He looks really good and crisp in his route running. And that's an asset that the Jets could use. Just having another weapon that Aaron Rodgers could throw to, a weapon that you could use on special teams. If he is back to that level, as Robert Saleh says, he has his explosiveness back. If he's back to that level where he can make that type of impact, there's no reason he shouldn't be on the Jets. And if you're comparing him to, quite frankly, the guy he's probably competing with, Izzy Abanikanda, Izzy has that speed too, but he hasn't shown it as consistently as Cohen already up to this point. And I just think there's so much versatility there if he's healthy, and that's the big thing, if he's healthy. And there's so many different ways that you could utilize a player of Cohen's talents in this offense. I'm really, really excited to see how the Jets deploy him in the preseason and in these joint practices.
So there's Cohen. How about Takk McKinley, another name to talk about?
I really want to see Takk McKinley work in with the first team defensive line. I mean, he has been insanely explosive off the ball. I feel like that might be underselling a bit, but he's in the backfield almost every play, whether it's a run, whether it's a pass. Like, he is just, I know he was a very high draft pick when he came into the league, but it feels like it's this perfect combination of, hey, here's a guy that has all this talent, but it was untapped. Coming to a team that is known to basically put defensive linemen on the field and get them to play at their highest potential. That is known to develop defensive linemen to a level where they cash in elsewhere or they become multi-year players for this organization. And I think that, and padded practices Monday will tell us a lot more, but I think the fact that he's already making this type of impact, I think he could be a contributor. Because let's face it, as talented as this Jets defensive line is on paper, there's a lot of unprovenness. We still don't know what Will McDonald truly is. How is Javon Kinlaw going to look? How is, Solomon Thomas going to look? Is Jermaine Johnson taking that next step? If you have a guy like McKinley that's getting sacks every day, that's blowing up run plays every single day, why wouldn't you try to use him to his full potential? Why wouldn't you keep him around on this roster? I mean, the best teams in the NFL, these are the type of additions between him and Cohen that can take you over the top, where your scouting pays off, you make a little tweak here or there, or they fit into your scheme perfectly, and now all of a sudden, you have a difference maker on your roster that nobody expected.
No question. Now, give me another name or two that is not some of the guys we've talked about, because you go in depth in your observations, which I really appreciate. And if you're a Jet fan tuned in on a Sunday morning right now, that's what you're looking for on this channel. So break it down for us.
So bouncing back to offense, I think Tyler Harrell, the UDFA out of Miami.
Great catch yesterday. Yeah.
I don't know what it was on that play, but he looked like one of the most explosive and smooth route runners out of all the wide receivers making that play. He just looked like he was gliding down the field and made that catch. And I know it was with Andrew Peasley, but that's the type of speed and that's the type of athleticism that, look, if it pans out, that could be a huge asset for the Jets this season. more speed, more explosiveness is very, very vital. And the fact that he was making that type of play, that stood out to me. He's definitely someone that I'm really interested to watch because, like, if he makes a big play in a preseason game, if he makes a big play in joint practice, he might earn some reps with Tyrod Taylor. He might earn some reps with Aaron Rodgers if it goes really well. Because I feel like the Jets wide receiver room is built in a sense where if a guy shows enough, he could get a shot because you're going up against two other UDFAs in Xavier Gipson and Jason Brownlee. It's exactly what happened with those two guys last year. So I'm excited to watch Harrell. Outside of him, I think it was Jalen Holmes had a 6 spin move during, I think it was it the last? Yeah, I think it was the last team drill session. He had a 6 spin move. I think outside of those two, I'm really interested to see what Isaiah Davis does when the pads come on. Because Braylon Allen has been phenomenal. He looks like smooth at the gigantic size that he has. He looks smooth in the passing game. I think Isaiah Davis is kind of flying under the radar, though. He's getting some reps, but when he's getting those reps, he looks smooth. He has that short area burst that it seems like the Jets are prioritizing at that running back position. And I think he can be a contributor, at least on special teams in year one, if not even on the offense. So I think Tyler Harrell, Jalen Holmes, and Isaiah Davis are probably my 3 other ones that I've seen. And I guess another one, which he hasn't practiced yet, how is Aiden Martinez going to look? You know, the UFL MVP. I think he could come in and probably push Andrew Peasley right now for that quarterback 3 spot, if not outright take it from him right away.
It's amazing no one signed him after he was the UFL MVP.
I think a big part of it is he wasn't great in college. He wasn't exactly this insane prospect, but you know, he had a really good season in the UFL. He won the most valuable player. So hey, more than merrier for the Jets if they can just pick up that type of quarterback and he pans out on their roster.
No doubt. The great Mike These Nuts wants to know, how about Braden McGregor?
He's looked pretty good too. And I think the way I would stack things up in terms of what I'm watching for and these types of players work in there, the running back room with Davis Cohen is one of my main focuses. The wide receiver depth with Harrell and Brownlee and Taylor and how does Corley progress, that's another main focus. Then on the defensive line, this is where a guy like Braden McGregor and Eric Watts come into play because these are guys with size and the athletic traits to make a big impact on the Jets. And both of them have made their plays, but it's the same thing I come back to whenever I talk about trench play. Monday is when you should start paying attention the most because up until the pads are on, I feel like it's a lot of conjecture. It's, hey, the offensive line did this, the defensive line did that. But as head coach Robert Saleh said, he doesn't care until the pads come on because that's when you're getting your first true look. That's when you're getting your first look at, okay, how is this guy's hand placement look at the NFL level? How is he dealing with an offensive lineman giving him this look? How is the offensive lineman dealing with, let's say, for example, McGregor going for a power rush or McGregor going for a speed rush? You're going to start to see the true standouts on the defensive and offensive line starting tomorrow. So I think McGregor and Watts and McKinley have shown a lot already, but you're truly going to get your first glimpse of, hey, are these guys actual favorites to be contributors this season?
Super Chat's always cut the line. Kikuchi says, let's go Jets, baby. Let's clap the league's cheeks all season long. Are you kidding me? It's too early for cheeks talk. No. Kikuchi getting wild at 11:01 a.m. I love it. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking with Brandyn Pokrass. He's been at training camp, giving you some takeaways. I was there yesterday, so if you want more specific details on what I saw yesterday, watch the show we put out when I got back from camp. Gusbuster Hotline is open. Hit the like button. Send in your super chats. We're looking for more channel members. There are a lot of great listeners out there who don't have a membership. So here's what we're going to do right now. I'm buying a membership for one lucky listener. We always try to pay it forward on this program. Ladies and gentlemen, a channel membership has been purchased by yours truly. And as soon as this loads, we will find out who is on the receiving end of the membership. I also would like to point out that we hit a membership threshold a few days ago. So the Asmaniac emoji is now available for people to use who are official Asmaniacs on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, a membership has been purchased by yours truly. It has went to Andrew Brunswick. Congrats to Andrew on receiving a channel membership. Welcome aboard, Andrew. It's just $5 to gift your fellow listener a channel membership, and it helps support the channel. All right, Brandyn, you ready to take some calls here?
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, first up on our Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline is a guy who I met in person yesterday, a guy who sat at training camp after I sent him a ticket, and it was an honor to meet him because he's a great dude. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan is first up. What's up, Alan?
Hey guys, it was great to be there. That was my first training camp practice since 1999 in
Wow.
Foxborough. And I just want to say that after being there yesterday, that I am in awe of Brandon's ability to see everything that was going on because my eyes did not know where to go.
It's hard.
But-
It's hard. There's a lot. You miss if you focus on a certain player or a certain area of the field, you miss stuff. So it's hard to kind of get a feel. You got to be a trained practice watcher like Brandyn to know what's going down.
Right. I did see some things though. I did see the argument between Alan Lazard and Garrett Wilson, and Rodgers broke that up. Yeah.
Argument.
They were they were a little heated, but and Rodgers got in between them, but there was no like blows or anything, and it broke it up after a couple minutes. I think they were talking about what happened on the previous play. I'm pretty sure that Lazard dropped a pass on the previous play before they came off, and and the twos went on. But I had a lot of fun there yesterday. I was paying a lot of attention to my guy Malachi Corley. I saw they were doing some interesting things with him yesterday. Not to go into too much detail because you don't want to give away what they're doing, but they definitely had him drop into the backfield a few times, and I thought that was cool with the ones. And he looked pretty decent in pass protection with no pads on.
I'll tell you what, Alan, you're already a better Alan than the other Alan who spells his name with an O.
Thank you. I see Alan in here all the time.
Alan, excellent job. I'm glad you had a good time. I will say this, seeing Corley out of the backfield was cool. The next step is probably giving him some actual plays he could run from the backfield, but I like how they're going to be creative with seemingly how they're going to deploy him.
Yeah, and the funny thing with Corley is I actually thought he did pretty well with his route running, all things considered yesterday. I mean, the play from Tyrod Taylor, the sliding catch he had, great catch. If Taylor hits him in stride, that's probably a 30-plus yard gain.
Yep.
And I guess it's a certain type of route they want him running because anything across the middle of the field, he looked like he was getting open. It looked like he had the ability where if the quarterback got the ball to him, he could have had even more catches yesterday. So I think the big thing with Corley is understand that the Jets always do this with their rookies. They always take them along slow and make them earn it. And I think it's going to be fun to watch him develop. And my big prediction with him is that he'll be fully integrated with the offense, like probably week 6, like as we approach midway through the year. But until then, he's still going to get touches. And he's the type of athlete and run after the catch threat where you're going to want to put him on the field. You want to give the defense the threat of him having the ball in his hands. So I'm really interested and excited to see how he progresses from now until the start of the season.
Hit the like button. If you're just tuning in, we're recapping the first week of Jets practice. We just gained a new Patreon subscriber. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to shout out Mauri Nara, who just became an official member on Patreon, paid $5. He's probably buying merch, so he's going to get that money back when he uses his Patreon discount code that you get when you sign up for the Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with your calls right now. Bobby Midnight joins us. Hello, Bobby.
Hi, guys. I don't think you can see me very good, can you?
Are you lying down, Bobby? What's happening here?
Yeah, putting my foot up against the wall. Remember, Nick said I should do that.
So,
Can you see me?
Oh, we see you.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Okay, I didn't know. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Well, I'm trying my best, Did you hear I was in the hospital, Brandon?
I did not. I did not hear that.
Yeah, I wasn't taking my Stop laughing, Jake. I was in the bed. I told you this is a bad position. I was in the hospital because I wasn't taking my medicine. So my feet are kind of swollen, and I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow to check it out. So at 11 o'clock. So hopefully everything works out better.
Hey,
so
Bobby.
What?
Can we see your foot? Like, where is your foot right now?
It's against the wall. Like, you can't see it. It's against the wall.
Yeah. Are you sure you're elevating it?
Yeah, that's why I'm in this position, Jake. Okay.
How do we know?
Because I'm against the wall. Okay, take me off full screen, thank you. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, it's we can't see you if I don't go full screen. You're too far away.
Well, I can't.
Like, you look how you normally look on the show from a size perspective, but unfortunately, I need to zoom in, otherwise we can't see you.
Okay, well, Brandon, how you doing? Good?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I hope you're doing well too.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot better. With Nick told me to put my feet against the wall. Like, you gotta lift your legs above your heart. Okay.
Now, Bobby,
So,
I think that lampshade needs to be straightened a little bit.
Okay, I will after the thing. Okay. God, gee, questions.
Questions? What do you mean?
You are a pot stirrer. Okay,
Pot stirrer.
I'm asking him a question now.
Well, hold on, Bobby. I have a new intro for you. Are you ready?
I heard this.
Did you?
I'm not gonna be happy.
Well, you know, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg. I'm Bobby.
All right, that's not too bad. Okay, I thought it was gonna be even worse.
No, so you haven't heard it. You lied.
No, Gator told me about it last night.
You lied and people died.
Oh my God, Gator told me about it on my channel list. Yeah, will you stop it, Jake? Oh, Jake. Brandon, I'm sorry about this interruption by him. Okay?
It's okay.
Question for you is that you think Alan's doing very good, right? Brandon Allen?
Yes, I do. I thought you were gonna ask about Alan Lazard because there's multiple Allens, but yes, I think Braylon Allen is doing very well.
I think he's gonna make the team. I think Tarek Cohen's making the team too.
Yeah, Cohen's actually looked awesome in camp so far.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed what he's done on the field.
I don't think Easy's making the team.
He's got to show a lot. He's got to show a lot in the next 2 weeks.
I don't think maybe he'd be on the practice squad or something like that, right?
That could be a possibility, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Brandon. Nice to see you. I'm waving to you.
Some questions.
Nice to see you too.
Hector wants to know: are you posing for a?
Am I posing what?
Bobby, repeat after me. Paint me like one of your French girls.
What did he ask me? I didn't hear the question.
He wants to know if you're modeling.
Oh, for what?
Playboy.
No, I'm just putting my legs up like I'm supposed. I have to.
Hector says, Bobby, you look like a mermaid out of water.
I know, right? Don't I? Hi, Hector. How's your dog doing?
Say, paint me like one of your French girls.
No, you be quiet.
What do you mean?
I'm
Quoting
done.
great movies.
I'm done. We'll see you later.
All right.
Bye, Brandon.
Bye, Bobby.
Bye.
See you later.
I can't take myself off. You gotta take myself. You gotta take myself off.
I can't find the button to take you off.
Oh, come on. Jake, why do you drive me nuts for?
I love you, Bobby. I'm not driving you nuts. I just can't find the button. Stand by.
Yeah, you lie.
No.
Yes, you do. Come on. You got other calls from Brendan. Come on,
You
please.
mean Brandon?
Brendan, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, bye, Brendan. Come on, Jake. Come on, you're embarrassing me. God.
Give me a countdown from 10.
No, 3. 3,
right.
2, 1, bye.
No. We'll be in the middle. How about 5?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay,
Well,
go.
you know, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Always
You can't
an
script the show.
always an adventure. It is always an adventure.
You cannot script this show.
No, you cannot.
Bobby, you're the best. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is Dre, who is also, I guess, elevating his leg. Hello, Dre.
I'm doing Bobby with solidarity. Here we go.
Everyone who calls in is going to call in like this.
Oh my goodness. I love Bobby so much. You never know what you're gonna get, and it's just fantastic. And so, excuse me, I'm sorry, Brandon. You are my spirit animal. The level of detail that you're able to watching our boys play, and the attention that you're able to give, and the analysis, spot on. Like I've been watching Jake's show for like almost 2 full years now. And, you know, you could just see I have learned more in these last 2 years about football. Like, I get to be like a snob now. Like, I can tell people they don't know ball because I received my education at the Jake Asman University of Football. And this is fantastic. And Brandon, you're an excellent addition. I was hanging on every word. You're doing oh my God. Like, I'm jealous because that's the kind of brain that I want in my head when I'm watching.
Thank you.
games.
I appreciate it.
Oh, so it's very excited. Like you're talking about players that I haven't even noticed. I didn't even know was on the squad, and I'm like, ooh, I'm writing things down. I'm like, well, I got to follow these people now, because it takes that level of intelligence to play competitive fantasy football with these guys. Because the rest of the Asmaniacs are just as bad as I am, or worse. Like we've got guys, Mike These Nuts putting in that super chat asking about specific people. I'm like, who's that? So I'm actually behind. Like, there's a reason why Oh my God. So I did have a question. I was wondering more about I wanted to ask about the running backs as well. But not about Allen. I wanted to ask about the other draft pick that we got because, like you said, I feel like he's flying under the radar. And I don't know, like, are we really going to carry four? Like, what if we carry 4 running backs and Tariq makes the team? What does that mean for Izzy?
So I think the way I would look at the depth chart is your 2 rock solid solidified guys are Brees and Braylon, which that's pretty cool. I have 2 running backs with B names, but that's beside the point. Allen's shown everything in the running game. He looks smooth. He looks great downhill. Really excited to see him in pads. And when you get beyond those 2, Isaiah Davis has shown, in my opinion, a decent amount too. The way he's reading the holes, the way he's able to cut on a dime, the way he does have that short area burst, he really fits what the Jets want to be, in my opinion, now as a running team, where he just gets downhill. Like, he doesn't wait. He's not trying to bounce everything outside. He's just getting downhill. He's getting necessary yards, and it's playing to that offensive style. So I think your main 3 are those guys. I think it's going to be Brees. I think it's going to be Braylon Allen and Isaiah Davis. When you get to Cohen and Izzy and even Xavier Valade is when it gets interesting. because I think those guys are competing with the whole roster, not necessarily the other running backs. When you look at Cohen and Izzy, I'd say their best path to making the roster is at special teams, because Isaiah Davis, he can play special teams, but he's that type of mold where I feel like he could do everything on special teams. Where you have a guy like Cohen and Izzy, how do they look as returners? I think they're going to get some reps, especially considering the new rules. But now you're competing with Xavier Gibson, and you're competing with other wideouts who may be profiling more as returners. I personally would give Cohen the edge over Izzy right now, because I think Cohen he looks like he has his burst back. And not even just that, but the shiftiness and the ability to truly cut on a dime, it looks like he's getting that back. And it's something with Izzy that harkens back to OTAs. He just looks not as comfortable. It looks a bit better now in training camp, but he doesn't look as comfortable as the other running backs. He looks like there's still that split second of hesitation instead of he gets the ball and he's downhill. It's like he's trying to read holes and he's not as sure of himself. Whereas Tariq Cohen, as I mentioned earlier, run on Thursday, he's going with the flow of the run. He puts his foot in the ground. Now he's picking up 10 plus yards the other direction. So it's those types of things that you're going to have to watch, in addition to, does Cohen or Izzy look better as a returner, as to who's making that final spot. And truly, there also is a possibility where neither of those guys make the team, where the Jets, let's say, for example, decide to keep an additional wide receiver instead of an additional running back. And I think Cohen could profile as another receiving option, so that might not even be the case, but they could keep another defensive lineman. They could keep another cornerback. We are so far away from, the roster crunch and who's making the roster over who, but those are the types of things that are going to go into the decision-making of, okay, is it Cohen or Izzy, or is it either of those guys?
Okay. And I also have one
go
more
ahead.
thing.
I have a question for you at the end after you ask your next question.
Okay. So I'm on record, and I'm the only Asmaniac and probably the only Jets fan ever to say Garrett Wilson is scoring 28 touchdowns this year. And so I'm also a resident of 28 Touchdown Island. So I'm out here on this island by myself. But after the first few days of seeing how their relationship is, you see how well Garrett gets out of breaks and how he shakes coverage, and it takes the best cornerback in all of football just to keep a cap on him. Are you with me? Would you like a residency on 28 Touchdown Island?
If Garrett Wilson has 28 touchdowns, 28, that might go, that would probably be the best wide receiver season of all time, if I'm not mistaken.
That breaks the record by 4 touchdowns. Because Garrett's not going to do anything. He's not like, oh, I just got one above. It's not going to happen like that, Garrett. Because I see Garrett's level, his talent and everything, because he did that with the worst quarterback play possible. Okay? So now you just gave him one of the 3 best quarterbacks of all time. I'm sorry. I just can't see. I can't get off this island. I can't.
I think Garrett's in for a really big year, but for me, a really big year is like 1,300 or 1,400 yards and like 12 touchdowns or 10 touchdowns. If Garrett Wilson has 28 touchdowns, I don't know if the Jets lose a game. Like I just think that the number is a bit high. But I don't necessarily disagree with you. Like the connection being this good early on is only a great sign for the Jets offense. It's just 28 touchdowns, I feel like, is number one. He would have to be the only offensive player basically catching touchdowns for the majority of the season. And number two, he would basically have to never be covered. And as much as I would, that'd be amazing to watch unfold, I just don't think it's reaching that level. but I think a few steps underneath around
Yeah.
anywhere, I think from 12 to 1,500 yards and like 10 to 15 touchdowns is probably what I'm expecting at this point.
Okay.
Dre,
All right. So
Brock Purdy,
yes,
week 1. What's going to happen?
we already know he's gonna die.
He's gonna die.
Dre being on 28 touchdown island for Garrett Wilson will never not be funny.
How many? All right, just to put it in perspective, how many yards would Aaron Rodgers have to throw if Garrett Wilson alone had 28 touchdowns? Like 6,000?
Yeah, it's
5,000?
Hey, I hope he's right.
That'd be incredible if he was right.
Amazing. Someone said I have gay size because I'm like looking up. It's because I'm watching the Team USA Olympic basketball game. My TV's in front of me here. Look, if Garrett Wilson has 15 touchdowns and 1,300 yards, that's a monster season. And I think it's a realistic season too, based on what we've seen so far. But 28, I mean, come on now. Sign me up there for that.
Garrett, I'll put it to you like this. If Garrett Wilson has 28 touchdowns, he probably breaks the single season receiving record and probably would have a case for the Hall of Fame already in year 3. If that actually happened.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with you, Brandon. This is an interesting comment here. Unreal NYC. Hey, Jake, I love the channel, but can we stop giving these goofy jokers a platform? Unreal NYC, I'm glad you like the channel, but you're going to have to name names, man. Who are these goofy jokers you're referring to? Name names or it doesn't mean anything to me. Back to your calls we go, ladies and gentlemen. Joining us right now is a guy who needs zero introduction. But ladies and gentlemen, we need to check in anyway. It's Bobby time.
Well, you know I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg. I'm Bobby.
I just wanted to check back in. How you feeling?
Good. Wait a minute. I got you on.
What's going on?
Hold on a minute. Hold on. You can see me in a minute. Hold on.
Yep. Well, you're watching on your phone the YouTube show, which is delayed. Back to your call.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
You're already on the air, Bobby.
I know that you can see me.
Do you want to see what you look like?
Yeah.
Bobby, you're watching the show on YouTube. It's delayed by like 15 seconds.
I know. I'm right here. Oh. Hi, guys. Can you still see me?
Oh, my God. Bobby, can you please fix the lampshade?
I'm not doing that right now.
Why not? You can then watch yourself fix it if you want to. If you're obsessed with this like space-time continuum thing you got going on.
Who was that guy talking about? You better not be talking about me, that punk. What is he talking about me, the punk?
Bobby,
What?
fix the lampshade.
I'm not fixing the lampshade, so pipe down.
How many memberships for you to fix the lampshade?
I'm having my lights up.
So you can't fix the lampshade without.
I can't reach it. I got so long. Jake, will you stop?
Tom says the lampshade is driving him nuts, though.
Well, it's not driving me nuts. I know. I will, jet-based girl. I will. I don't have. Oh man, people. Okay, I'm turning off my phone. So okay, so I'm here, guys.
All right. Any update?
So I wonder who that guy was talking about. Who wrote in that chat? Remember, he wrote in the crazy people. Who was? He better not be talking about me.
I asked him to name names. Name
No,
names.
tell him to put some names in there.
Jeff Life wants to know: do you dry your T-shirts on that lampshade? Is that why it's crooked?
No, I don't.
Mike These Nuts says, "Fix it, Bobby, please." Mike, how many memberships would you give if Bobby fixes the lampshade?
No, I'm not doing it.
I think we have the thumbnail gator for the best of the Jake Asman show, episode 6. I think we're up to 6. Just Bobby laying down like he's in the movie Titanic. Say,
Well,
paint me like one of your French girls. Say it.
Paint me like one of your French girls.
There it is. Big
Well,
Phil
that was
says
what
the
the
lampshade is so distracting.
Well, you like that. I always have it like that. Okay, ask that dumbass who he's talking about.
Rick Kent has just gifted 5 memberships. Bobby Lampshade, it's working.
Well, I'm not getting out. I'm not getting at it.
Or Jet Base Girl, Jet Fan 2405, Sharp Instincts, NY Jet 8. You are all officially.
I'm not getting it. I'm a capitalist. I'm not getting anything out of this.
I'll share a percentage of the revenue with you.
Yeah, right. Sure.
What do you mean? I will. I still have to send you money next month for the T-shirts we sold.
Right. That's true. All right. See,
Jay Quest wants to know: is that your belly button or something else?
Probably my belly button.
Our next emoji should be the slanted lampshade. All right, that's what these memberships will go to, Bobby. The slanted lampshade.
Oh.
Purple Belt Mike says that lampshade has a leaning tower of Pisa DNA.
Brandon, you like them picking on me like this, Brandon?
You got to fix that lampshade, Bobby.
Well, I will in a minute. God, man.
Tom thinks you have lint in your belly button. Is this true?
No, Tom, shut up.
Jake Klein wants to know, are we going to talk Jets? Jake, you always have a way to join the show 55 minutes in after we had all the Jets talk. So I would rewind.
Who's this guy?
Jake Klein. He thinks you're a jokester.
No, I like Jake Klein. He works in the hospital a bit. He doesn't he's not in prison like you always say.
Can you give him a Jets take? He's dying for some Jets talk.
Yeah, Brandon was saying that Aaron Rodgers looks great. He's looking great. And also, what's his name, looking great? Wilson. Their passing together is very good to each other, right? Brandon, right? Did I get that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then my Brendan Allen looks good. Tariq Cohen is excellent today. Yesterday. So I'm doing good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Now I'm all done. Bye, guys.
Gator wants to know, can Bobby bring the lampshade to the game?
I'm already bringing the chair. I'm not bringing no lampshade to the game. Gator.
Big fella says Bobby is in his playgirl pose.
Well, I gotta be a capitalist on my show later today.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
What?
Bobby.
Stop.
On the couch, really? Just firing them all?
I'm not doing that. That's not me. That's you. Okay, I'm done making fun of it. Bye, Jake Asman.
Big fella wants to know, what is the wire coming from the lampshade?
Oh, that's the bottom of my cat attacked it and pulled it down.
Where's your cat?
She's sleeping, okay?
Like you.
I'm not sleeping. I'm up. I'm talking.
Do they call you Bobby Leglift?
Oh, Brennan, can you just pop in the head for me once in a while?
We're not in the same room, Bobby.
Brennan, is he picking on me?
No.
Come on, Brennan. I'm your friend.
I'm reading the chat to you, Bobby, because you can't see the chat. I'm relaying it.
No, I don't want. Okay,
right.
I'm
Bobby,
off.
you have a good day. Enjoy the life.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.
Start from 10 this time.
No, I'm doing 5. That's all.
How about 4.5?
No, go. Bye.
That's a better deal.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye now.
Well, you know I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
I'm glad he's in good spirits. 2 more calls for Brandon. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton and then PBM. What's up, Kyle? Kyle, you're on mute, so unmute yourself, please.
That one comment is going to have to find a different show because all this show is Goofy Jokers. I wanted to see if Brandon had seen any notable play from any interior lineman in the light of Hanson's injury, like looking at guys like Cole Laveau and see if anyone's been standing out in Hanson's absence.
So I'm really going to key in on it this week because the pads go on. So you're gonna truly see now. Okay, pads are on. How are the offensive linemen, defensive linemen stacking up, and how does that progress over the week? Then that eventually leads into the joint practices and then preseason, so on and so forth. But everything up to this point is a good to have in the back of your mind. But I feel like now is when you really, as fans, analysts, whoever, now is when you really want to lock into how does the trench battle look? Because now you're getting the best idea of, okay, with the pads on, how are these guys defending against certain types of moves? How are they dealing with power, with speed? And then you see that progress from there. I think the UFL guy could have a really good opportunity to become depth. I think I'm going to keep an eye on Xavier Newman and some of the other interior guys. I'm really interested to see how guys like Braden McGregor and Eric Watts look. Does Tack McKinley continue his meteoric rise up the depth chart? Like there's certain things along that unit where I'm like, okay, I'm really interested to see how it plays out, because the main thing with practices so far without it being in pads is how are the wide receiver battles looking? How are the progressions looking? Is there sacks? Are there not sacks? No. How are the both units flowing? Now the full picture is starting to become a bit more clear, because with pads on, okay, the running game, how do the running backs respond to contact? How do they read those holes with the offensive line and defensive line both being in pads? Receivers, a bit more of a live scenario with pressure. You're going to see the progression of everything from week 1 to week 2, because now it's going to feel like real football.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm just curious because it's probably the weakest part of our team. Be hearing from me again if you come back on the show in coming weeks, but I appreciate the time, Brandon.
Of course. Thank you.
Kyle, appreciate you, man. Good call. Ladies and gentlemen, we keep it rolling with your calls right now. Hit the like button. We're seeking more channel members. Rick Kent came through immediately when he saw Bobby Midnight putting his leg up on the couch. And joining us right now from the pool is Purple Belt Mike. Hello, Mike.
Yeah, what up?
Wow, a normal colored pool there, Mike. It's not green anymore.
I know. It's a little cloudy because it needs a little more alkalinity, but it's safe to be in, so I'm good.
You look good, man. Bald is beautiful.
Bald, man. New
put
bald.
Sunscreen on your head?
I had to. Yeah, my wife got mad at me because I didn't when I was playing pickleball. So I missed the beginning of the show, so I have to catch up on YouTube. But yeah.
Did you see Bobby on the couch? What were your thoughts?
That was my first time coming in, and I was laughing my ass off.
Could you imagine joining the show and you just see a guy laying on his couch with a crooked lampshade?
The first time I joined this show, it was a lane train, like the draft, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then I realized quickly what this show was, and I'm like, man, this is awesome. Yeah. Did they practice today?
No, they're off
today.
today,
Was an off day. And do they practice tomorrow, or is tomorrow another off day?
Tomorrow, first day of full pad practice.
And then Tuesday's
Oh,
open.
nice. Okay. Sorry if you answered this because I joined late. What are you looking forward to most tomorrow, since the first day of pads?
I mean, kind of carrying on from the last color, I'm really looking forward to the defensive line and offensive line battle, because I think you're going to see your first full read of. It's going to give that first baseline of where each unit goes from here, and I'm excited because it's two units that they made improvements, but there's questions. How does the offensive line hold up with health and with production and meshing together? Who steps up on the defensive line? And I'm really excited to see those first steps tomorrow.
Is there much of a difference with wide receivers and corners?
I think there's going to be a little bit of a difference because now, you're going to see actual contact. And I think the biggest difference is everyone's going to be going full speed. Because guys are still going full speed, but now it's like there's going to be some hitting. There's going to be maybe not full contact, like guys getting leveled, but there's going to be more hitting and more real football stuff occurring on the field instead of like, the occasional guy gets shoved to the ground in no pads. Now that's going to probably be a constant.
Mike, excellent job out of you. Apparently we're having some audio issues here, but I didn't notice it until Mike, and then it kind of straightened itself out. Do you hear me okay, Brandon?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
The chat is saying we had some audio issues, but I think we're okay now. I think it was Mike's audio that was causing it. I'm not quite sure. Genergy with a super chat here. Crooked Lampshades, the Bobby Midnight story. Oh my God! All right, the best person who comes up with a title of the Bobby Midnight movie here will get an item in the merch store. Genergy coming through. Tremendous. More of your calls right now. But first, a question from Jay Quest, who wants to know, is Stiggers the real deal? He looked good from what I saw yesterday. You've seen him more than me. Your thoughts on Quantez Stiggers?
I think for a rookie, he's looked really good. And the cool thing about that is think of it in a similar sense as Olu with Tyron Smith and Morgan Moses. Stiggers has Gardner, has DJ Reed, has Michael Carter to help him learn. And he's in a position where they don't need to rush him on the field. They can let him develop. And obviously it's at a different level. Olu's a first-round pick. Stiggers is a fifth-round pick. But he's shown a lot. Even on the two balls that Malik Taylor basically mossed him on, it was great coverage. It was just a better throw and a better catch. I'm really excited to see him in pads in the preseason because I think the Jets have something in him. What type of cornerback he is, not sure yet, but I definitely think he's going to be a contributor for them. If not this year, definitely starting next year.
Hello, Bobby.
I fixed my thing.
You fixed the lamp?
Yep.
Did you, though?
Yeah, it's already fixed. I straightened it out. Okay, Jake? Okay, give me a break.
Brandon, my eyes aren't great, but that doesn't look totally straight. Am I off?
It looks a little off still.
Well, that's the best I could get it right now. So, hey, it's done. Okay, bye, Jake.
Can you say you fixed it, though, if you really didn't?
Yeah, I got my fat ass out of bed, and I fixed it, okay?
I thought you were on your couch.
This is my bed. I told you.
Wait, that's your bed? I didn't realize. I thought it was your couch.
I only have a bed, knucklehead.
Oh, how am I supposed to know that?
I told you my bed is right next to my computer.
I'm going to ask the chat if it's fixed, all right? Will you take their feedback because you don't want mine?
Jake, you drive me nuts today.
Legacy Green, only slightly crooked. Jay says crooked lampshade. David says mostly fixed. Rick speculates that maybe you're crooked.
I want money for this. I want money.
Bobby, if I send you $20 right now, will you fix the lampshade?
Yes, I want money for this because you're embarrassed the hell out of me today, Jake.
All right.
Thank you very much. I came on to your show to be nice, but no, you take advantage of me, okay?
Venmo or how should I pay you?
Yeah, Venmo. Yeah, Venmo is good.
All right, I'm sending you $20 right now.
Okay, I'm going to get my fat ass and fix it, okay?
Hold on. Don't do it until I send you the money. Fix.
I'm a capitalist like you are, Jake. So
I know you are. I taught you well. All right, I just sent you $20.
You in person. You are in big trouble.
Big fella writes in, Bobby's leg needs to be higher than his heart.
That's the bed.
Rick Kent says, Jake, you're setting a dangerous precedent here, paying for him to fix the lampshade.
All right.
Look, people in my audience have OCD, Rick. We can't continue the show with a crooked lamp.
This is very entertaining for you. You can know that. Very entertaining for you.
Hey, Bobby, what's your Venmo? We'll have people send you a Venmo.
And yeah.
I got it. Here's Bobby's Venmo, everyone, if you want to support him. I already sent him $20. Robert Woodruff dash 14. I'm going to put some dramatic music under you, Bob. What do you think? No? Bob?
That's better right there. Yay. Without the you guys. Well fixed. It's all done. I'm happy. It's all done. I have to get out of bed. I tripped over my mic. Okay, does it look better now?
Chat, what do we think? Is it fixed?
Yes. Now it's fixed. Okay, now it's fixed, right, guys?
Jake says it's mostly crooked the other way now.
Oh my God! I am so embarrassed today, Jake. I'm gonna have a 20 show, so you don't get anything out of this.
Tom says Jake did not get his money's worth. It has to be totally fixed. This is the best $20 I've ever spent.
Okay, that looks great. That's it. That's done, and it's over and done with. Okay, done.
Big Bo says looks good now.
Embarrassing me again, Jake. You know, don't you get I'm gonna embarrass you on my show. Thank you, big fella. Okay, much better now, right, guys? Right, much better. Right,
Yeah.
Jake? Yeah, okay. Are you happy now?
I think it looks good.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It sounds like the chat disagrees, though. They still think it's crooked.
Well, I think they should shut up.
Big Will says Jake should do a road show from Bobby's apartment.
Oh, be quiet, Big Will. I don't know who you are, and just keep your comments to yourself, okay, Big Will? That's good, okay? Jake already embarrassed me already today, okay?
Wait a second. How did I embarrass you for asking you to fix a lamp that was crooked?
You embarrassed me all day so far. So,
for asking you to fix a lamp?
Yes.
Well, I didn't realize that was so embarrassing.
Well, thank you for giving me my $20. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you made money, so how am I embarrassing you?
All right, so it's fixed.
What?
Is it fixed now?
Well, it's... Oh, my goodness.
What? What? Brandon, is it fixed or what? 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 Oh.
You don't see it?
What?
My screen.
What?
You don't see my screen right now?
What? It's crooked again?
No, well, yeah.
Oh my God, Jake, you gotta pay me for this. I tell you.
I just paid you $20.
Yeah, but you're embarrassing me like hell today.
Do you have 2 lamps now, Bobby?
All right, that's me. That's me. Okay, I see now. That's me, and it could be me and whatchamacallit. Me and V Man, huh?
I think you have two lamps.
I got one lamp.
No, my screen is saying there's two now.
That's Gator. Gator put that up. Gator, stop it. Okay, I'm done. Is my lamp done yet? I'm getting really pissed now.
Well, I can't. One is a little straighter, and then one is crooked. So I don't know.
No, that's not the right one.
Which one is real? Which is the real lamp?
I'm not happy, guys. I'm not happy, guys. Embarrassing me. So, how will this work? I'll see. This is not. This is a whole. This is good. Not
right there. Stop it.
Not. Straight in. Okay, that's the best it goes. It's the old lamp. That's it. It's done. It's done. It's done. Done. Looks good to me now. I'm done. It's all fixed. Oh, Brandon probably has to leave, and he screwed me up. Okay, get the other stuff off my screen, please. Now, that's the other one. Come on, guys. Is that better now?
Looks great, Bobby. Nicely done.
Okay, yeah, about time, Jake. Brandon, I'm sorry for this interruption, okay?
It's okay.
And
Dan's
you
a Jet
left.
fan. He says, lighten up, Bobby. You're very cranky today.
Because you drive me nuts. I was in a great mood until you tell me fix my lamp, do this, do that.
Tom Ace wrote it. By the end of the show, we need Bobby to rearrange his entire room.
No, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay. Okay, I'm done. I'm bye.
Any final thoughts?
No, all done.
All right. Thank you for the time, Bobby. Excellent job.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. You sound upset. He's gone. I was going to ask if he's going live today. Promote his show.
Well, you know, I need to walk more to survive unless Jake is going live. Gotta elevate my leg on Bobby.
Tremendous job from Bobby. Oh, my God. Gator. Brandyn, excellent job out of you, man. Thanks for coming on. I will be seeing you at training camp this upcoming week, so I look forward to that. And great job breaking everything down that's happened this first week.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Truly appreciate it as always.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brandyn Pokrass. Give him a follow on social media. Read his work at Jets X Factor. He does a tremendous job talking all things New York Jets. Couple more calls before we wrap. Sneakers to Boots is next up. What's up, Sneakers?
What's going on, Jake? Your show is one of one. One of one. That I had to hide myself from laughing behind the scenes because it was so damn funny. But
I had to mute my mic several times today from laughing so hard.
Bobby, we love you. We all have things we got to adjust on the camera before we get on, so we're only helping. In terms of the football talk, it's end of July, fresh cut grass, dog days of August are upon us. I can't flip and wait anymore. It's about to be that time. So what Brandyn was going off of, a lot of great insight, especially with the padless practices as we transition to pad practice. Padless practices, they're all show candy. I mean, they're great to kind of watch and get a feel for the players of how they're doing. But in terms of the offensive linemen, defensive linemen, those trenches, you're not going to be able to get a feel, especially with leverage points, being able to cut down blocks, anchoring, all that kind of stuff with that's going to help with the pads. So running backs as well. They're going to have to hit the holes harder, try to break off tackles, not get tackled in kind of the scrum. So that's when we'll be able to get a real good feel of how we're stacking up. So, which is actually good to see that our offensive line is handling the defense. You know, our defensive line or defense has always been miles apart in terms of the offense. So it's good to see that we actually have some back and forth.
Completely agree. And look, the pads aren't on yet, so there's context. But as Brandon brought up, usually the defensive line's ahead of the offense this early on in camp. So the fact that the O line has actually been really good, like I am like cautiously optimistic that will continue now, right? Like Olu's getting a chance to learn from a future Hall of Famer and a really good player and Morgan Moses. I saw it firsthand yesterday. Titman's look really good. AVT is back in team drills. Like Simpson's been as advertised. Like I'm cautiously optimistic about this offensive line. I am.
The pendulum is starting to swing the other way, swinging back the other way. So we'll see. I do have a couple quick comments. I do have a little bit of concern over the wide receiver depth. Hopefully, one of these undrafted free agents can start to pan out. I do like Gibson. I like Jason Brownlee, but I mean, we're only one injury away from catastrophe. So I'm still kind of nervous about that. We'll see how the season goes. Maybe we'll make a move for a trade. Maybe not specifically Devontae Adams, but we'll see. I do have a question about Jamie Sherwood.
Go ahead.
What are your thoughts on him? Because you went to practice. Like, how did he look? I'm just curious because we're gonna have to see how he fits the mold with Mosley on his. Maybe his last year. We'll see. I'm not really sure, but we kind of need to
Probably
fill
2
that.
years. Yeah,
2 years.
based on his
Yeah.
contract. So Sherwood yesterday had a really nice pass deflection when he was out there with the defense against the first team offense. So look, he's gotten better every year, and you hope he doesn't have to play a lot because that means there's probably an injury to Quincy or CJ. But I like what we've seen from Jamie and Sherwood so far, at least what I saw yesterday.
Okay, that's good. That's good to hear. I know last year he had like 44, 45 tackles, and he had 100% tackling rate. So he's absorbing everything from Mosley like a sponge. But otherwise, Jake, thanks for organizing the Jersey meetup. I will be there. So proud to represent the New York Jets at Don Jose. So thank you for meeting us, Jersey folks, out in on that side of the river.
Let's go, Sneakers. I can't wait to meet you. Have I met you in person yet? I don't recall.
No, not yet. So it'll be a first. So I can't wait. Don Jose is a great place. So have the Jet fans show out.
I love it. I love it. Great call, Sneakers. That's awesome. Yeah, for those who want to come to our Jersey meetup, spots are limited. We got like I think 20 left. RSVP with the link in the description. It's BYOB, but we're going to be bringing some cases of beer. We got a preset menu. I believe it's just $25. You get free appetizers. You get an entree. It's awesome, awesome food. Nick Mangold and Rex Ryan are regulars there. It's a family-owned, Jet family-owned business. Listener Jose, well, hence the name, Don Jose, he is our guy setting it all up. So we're going to have a lot of fun that night. Look forward to it. I know Connie Carberg is going to be there, Jet fans. I spoke with her the other day. First female scout in NFL history will be hanging out with us. She's the best. So we'll have some fun. So any Jet fan who wants to come, just make sure you RSVP. It's going to be a great night. And I can't wait to meet Sneakers to Boots. This question is from Dominic. Asman, when are you hosting on 98.7? I am on 98.7 next Friday. I'm doing the morning show from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Both Rothenberg and DiPietro are off, so I'm solo for 4 hours of morning drive. So you better call in, Dominic. You scoundrel. You Texan fan, you. Most writes in, I heard Justin Pugh on ESPN New York Friday night. When can we get a Jake and Justin show? You guys sounded phenomenal together. Justin is awesome, man. One of the best athlete interviews out there. He has some career in media when he decides he wants to do it. Now, he basically told me he's playing this year. He just doesn't want to be in training camp right now, so he's going to wait for someone to get hurt and then sign a deal. When you play in the NFL for 11 years, you can do that. Thanks for the kind words, though, Moshe. He was awesome. Big Will says, Tua got a deal. Does that help us? Look, you knew he was going to get paid. I think Tua is a good quarterback. Until I see him win a game in cold weather or consistently beat teams with winning records, I don't think he's ever going to be a quarterback you win the big game with. I don't see deep playoff runs year after year with Tua. Like, is he good? Yeah. But I'm not afraid of Tua. I think Aaron Rodgers is better than Tua. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a groundswell of people demanding that our next emoji be the crooked lamp emoji. I'm happy to make that happen, but we're going to need the memberships in order to get there, especially after the Asmaniac one. So please support the show by hitting the join button and becoming a channel member, or turn on gift receipts. And if people gift memberships, we'll be closer and closer to that total. We need about 100 is looking like. So we got ways to go, but if the crooked lamp emoji needs to be the next emoji, who am I to tell the Asmaniacs no? Pittsburgh Mike says, did you plant the seed with Sanchez about getting him on the show? We'll all grill him up some hot dogs. I didn't get a chance to talk to Mark directly. I wish I did, though. I wish I did. The big fella says, my left foot, the Bobby Midnight story. Tom A says, Bobby Midnight against all odds. Metro Funny, Bobby with 50 lampshades. A lot of great movie titles. Richard Todd says, Jake, I've been stripped of my Jets helmet and emojis. Your membership expired, Richard Todd. Hit the join button, man. Duncan says, when are you doing your first 53-man and practice squad predictions? Practice squad, I have no idea. 53-man roster prediction, I'll probably wait till after the first preseason game. We'll wait a little bit. Bang says, I heard the great Rucker dropped several balls. He dropped one pass, Bang Mateo. Why do you hate Jeremy Ruckert so much? Are you anti-Lindenhurst, Long Island? Is that your issue? Oh, my God. Folks, we have the best listeners. I want to give a big shout out here. Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Michelangelo just sent me an email of what the Bobby lamp emoji could look like. It is so funny. I give me a second to upload it so we can laugh and enjoy the greatness of this emoji together. We're going to need some channel members, folks, but we might have it ready to roll if and when we hit that threshold. Ladies and gentlemen, you tell me if this is worthy of becoming an Asmaniac. There it is. So absurd, you have to laugh. Unreal. So, be a member so we can add this to the rotation. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls before we wrap. JT is up next. What's up, JT?
Oh, dude, you got to bring me in after that one. Dude, that emoji's great. We need to hit the threshold and get that emoji in there.
We need it now. We need it.
Absolutely. First, I want to say, how about them Yankees last night?
Dude, the fact that they won that game, I woke up today, I'm like, I cannot believe, like, that game was so set up for them to lose in walk-off fashion. It's amazing it didn't happen.
Yeah, dude. Like, I can't believe we won that game, but yeah, yesterday was my first ever practice. That was an experience. It was hard to, like, keep up with everything.
Yeah.
Like, kind of just, it was a lot.
You're right. It's you got to be, as we said in the show, you got to be like an experienced practice watcher to kind of know where to train your eyes to look.
Yeah, I was really blown away by everything they had, like all those little fan experience things they have when you first walk in. And I don't know, it was a hell of an experience. I loved it. I'm only going to get to be able to go to one, but I loved it.
Well, JT, if you want tickets for Tuesday, I got you.
Unfortunately, I work Monday to Friday, so yeah, I can only make Saturdays, and the other Saturday I'm too busy. I wasn't able to be able to make it, so.
I didn't know people in the comment section work. No, I'm just kidding. I thought everyone's job is to watch this show.
You helped me get through the day. But I wanted to show this off real quick. I had brought a football to get some signatures on just to kind of have as like a memory. So like I got Elijah Vera Tucker.
Wow, that's awesome.
I wound up getting Stiggers too. And then number 40, I don't really know who he is, to be completely honest. But I'll have to look into that. But yeah, so it was quite the experience though, man. Like just seeing the Rodgers to Wilson connection. I mean, saw in that quick little screen pass, that was quick. That'll get us 5+ yards every single time. I can't wait.
Yeah, the one play you're talking about with Garrett, where they just checked it down so quick and
Yeah.
just blew by DJ Reed. That guy was wild.
Oh, dude, as soon as the ball was snapped, yeah, I can't wait for this season, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
ball's
great
out.
time.
Me too, JT. I'm glad you had a good time though, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I wish I was able to meet up with you, but I was looking around a little bit. I couldn't find you, and the seats were filling fast, so I figured I'll just wait till the 17th.
Ladies and gentlemen, JT. Can't wait to meet you, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, likewise, man. You have a good one.
You too. JT checking in. He's right about the Yankees, by the way. How about Jazz Chisholm being a Yankee, too? They finally have a leadoff hitter. Thank God. Thank God. Ladies and gentlemen, what a show. What a time. Let's see. Make sure you hit the like button. Got over 200 likes, so thank you to the listeners for the support. Reminder, we have the Jersey meetup. We also, as you heard JT allude to, we have the meetup. It's a watch party on the 17th of August. T-Squared Social, link is in the description to RSVP. The party starts at 6:30. Kickoff for Jets-Panthers is at 7. T-Squared will have the game on all the TVs, the sound on. They also have a bowling alley. They also have darts, pool, ping pong, multiple golf bay simulators. So you're not into preseason football. Hey, I get it, right? I get it. But you're into the experience of hanging out with the Asmaniacs, and there's plenty of fun things to do at T-Squared Social, so I look forward to hosting everyone there that night. It's going to be a blast. Tom A says, I kept the focus on Rodgers. How often are you going to see greatness up close like that? Loved it. Yeah, Tom, you and I were watching all that. It was awesome. Hawk writes in, I make $100K a year watching Jake Asman. If you want to know how you can make $100K a year watching Jake Asman, buy my book, How to Make $100K a Year Watching Jake Asman. Seems legit, Hawk. I'm happy for you. Seems legit. Big fella says, between Watts and Tack, who makes the squad? Right now it'd be Tack, but maybe they both could. Who knows? Never know if there's an injury. Never know how something plays out. Richard Todd again. Jake, I'm missing my Jet helmet. What happened? Richard Todd, your membership expired. Someone gifted you a channel membership, and then it expired. So you could either sign up again or hope that someone else can make it rain for you. That is the only way to do it. Anyway, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to Brandyn Pokrass for coming on and providing some excellent observations for everyone. Shout out to everyone out there for your support this first week of camp. Jets are off today. Pads come on tomorrow. We have a live show for you tomorrow in the morning, a live show in the afternoon. It's going to be a busy week of content, and I'm excited that football it's back. To me, training camp starts, football season starts. That's how I look at it, and I'm certainly pumped up about that. So thanks to everyone for your support. Thank you again to everyone who I met in person yesterday at Jets camp. So cool to meet so many of the Asmaniacs. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your Sunday. Go Team USA. Go Yankees tonight against the Red Sox. Jets, 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 Jets.
And they caught the robber of your place of work yet.
I choose not to talk about that.
Well, this is concerning, Scott. I don't know if I can make a commitment to broadcast from your place of work if there's a robber on the loose.
So you're going to be downstairs, upstairs, downstairs, whatever you want to do. At some point, I don't know, whatever.
Where are we going again, Scott?
Saratoga. You're going right at the bunker. Everyone can get down. It's cool.
And to be clear, you're not a suspect in the robberies right now.
I was on camera, and the camera was looking at the back of my head and saw my bun. He thought it was me. That's how that happened.
Okay.
I want everybody up here. English, Puerto Rican. That's why I'm here. And I know you want the mayor. I know you do. Should I say something or no?
Scott, to be honest, I really don't know what you're saying right now.
The mayor has lunch at the bunker a couple times a week. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Let's catch this robber first before I go.
All right. Okay. I'll do you want me? He was apprehended and released.
That's not good, Scott. Why was he released?
Jake, I don't know, man. Maybe a PR reason. Not have it in the papers, whatever.
A PR
Yeah.
reason? He robbed your place of work. How was he just released?
It's not my call, dude. I have no clue.
Gunny, your thoughts on that call?
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. What about buttered sausage?
Only on this show, dude. Only on this show.
It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Wow.
One of my first cards was in the 90s, the quarterback who went down with ACL.
What was the hand for? I don't understand. It sounded like that was part of the story.
Oh, I do that.
You look like you have a massive hand.
No,
I mean, that's impressive, I guess.
ADHD, Brandon. That's something that
What does it have to do with your hand?
Us 90 kids do a lot of dumb shit. But like, all I know is I studied the Jets quarterback play over the years, and then that's what I started to do as a kid, and then I got into football.
Charles, you watched the debate last night?
Yes, I did.
What were your thoughts?
I'm not a fan of the guy who's in office, and I'm not a fan of RFK.
Sounds like you're a Trump guy, if I'm interpreting that right.
You could pretty much say that.
Please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore.
Some of your calls actually remind me of our president last night. Your mama told me that your last name was Gormani, but it was changed to Gorman at Ellis Island.
You never talked to my mom.
You don't know that.
My last name is Gorman, not Gormani. I'm 7/8 Italian and 1/8 Irish.
Gormani changed the Gorman at Ellis Island.
Didn't know about that.
See?
Right, definitely.
It's good talking with you, Bobby. Are you doing another show today or no?
Yeah, after the 6:30 show, I'm going to do my show. Nice to talk to you, Charles.
Take care, Bobby.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.